Hey everybody, welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our 44th event. We're halfway through season 4, and I'm so glad that you joined us. I have the pleasure to be here with a bunch of amazing builders. Special welcome to Ed, joining for the first time from the Optimism Developer Advisory Board, and also welcome back Gabriel, longtime friend and builder in Optimism. I'm going to give a presentation about Optimism Fractal, an intro, and then we're going to play the Respect game. Also, Abraham, shout out to Abraham, has developed a lot of a new Fractalgram app too. So he's going to give us a little overview of the Fractalgram app, and then we're going to head to the Respect game after the presentation. So if anyone wants to say hello real quick, then feel free. Welcome, Eric, too. Good to see you. And yeah, I'll get into the presentation and hope everybody enjoys.
Roll that beautiful Optimism Fractal footage.
All right. Thank you, Will. Here we go. We got a nice system here. Welcome everybody to Optimism Fractal Season 4. You can check out what Optimism Fractal is at optimismfractal.com. Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain. On this website, you can learn about the events that we host every Thursday at 17 UTC that provide a perfect place to network, make friends, and collaborate with talented builders on the Superchain. And at each one of these events, we play an amazing on-chain social game called the Respect Game. So each person will get the chance to share what they're doing to help Optimism. We'll collaborate to rank each other's contributions, and we'll earn a mystical soulbound token called Respect. We'll also go into breakout rooms of 36 people as well that are randomized, and then we publish the videos too. We post the videos so everybody can join the videos, share their work, raise awareness for the public goods they're creating, and learn from great builders on Optimism. And we're building tools too. I actually just updated this, so I'll show you momentarily. But I mentioned Abraham and several other builders in the communities are building open source tools that allow anybody to play the Respect game and make decisions with respect. And we are also have a Notion site where you can learn more about this, as well as many articles too that you can find on the website. It's a great place to develop your on-chain career and business. Everybody's welcome to join. And there's lots of funding opportunities on Optimism as well, such as retro funding, which was recently announced, the round 6, focused on governance. And speaking of governance, we have been trailblazing the future of governance here at Optimism Fractal. We've been working on this for the past few years, and in some ways with many builders. We have a history article and a details page where you can learn about our community improved intents and our consensus processes, such as the Optimism Fractal Sages Council that you can join each week to help lead the community and help pioneer the future of governance, and the Optimism Town Hall that we have after the Respect game each week, featuring conversations about the Superchain, where people can pick topics with respect. Optimism Fractal is nurtured by Eden Fractal, where we've been pioneering this process for a while. You can learn more at edenfractal.com, and the Optimistics team, which you can learn at optimistics.io. And we're building on the Superchain with many great networks like Base, WorldCoin, OP Mainnet, Sonium from Sony, Zora, Mode, Redstone. You can learn more at optimism.io, base.org, etc. And the best way to get involved is join Optimism Fractal events. Thursdays at 17 UTC. We'd love to meet people, and so feel free to join. Feel free to invite friends. It's a great way to get people involved with Optimism. Everybody's welcome to join. The Optimistics put out some great tweets, and Rosmari's been making some really cool art lately about governance gardeners and enthusiasts. So everybody's welcome to join, and we appreciate when people like and retweet. And you can learn more about the posts here. I'm also putting out some things here, talking about how we're excited. Shout out to Jacob, inviting everybody to join the Optimism Fractal events, and yeah, very encouraging to receive positive feedback. So we're glad that everybody's enjoying the events. You can also check out the Warpcast for Optimism Fractal, or the Farcaster channel, I should say, and the governance forum, where we post updates each week about what's going on, as well as the videos. So yeah, optimismfractal.com/videos. You can find show notes for each of these. I think most people know this right now, but there's lots of really cool show notes and videos that we've done there and on the Eden Careers YouTube channel as well. So check it out. And today we'll be having the Optimism Town Hall, as I mentioned, in about 45-50 minutes. And at today's Optimism Town Hall, we're going to be growing with the Hats Protocol. We'll be joined by David Ehrlichman, who is a co-founder of Hats Protocol and also of Converge and Impact Networks. We recently had an episode about Hats Protocol. Optimism Fractal was chosen as one of the co-winners of the first ever Hatathon. And we had an episode about this, and we're going to be diving deeper with David into all sorts of things about hats. You can check out our past episode about this at optimismfractal.com/41, where you can see our hats tree, as well as the Let's Grow hats tree, which was selected as co-winner as well, and much more in these show notes as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting into that episode after the Respect game, and hope that everybody will enjoy. There's a Snapshot poll where you can learn more about this. We're also trying a community interview game too, where anybody can propose questions. So if you have any questions for David, then feel free to propose them, and then whichever topics get the most votes on Snapshot will be the ones that are discussed in order of prioritization. Some real quick community news. We did a Eden Fractal episode about the state of fractals last week, and that is now viewable on the Eden Careers YouTube channel. So we talked about Optimism Fractal and many other fractals for about 20 minutes or so, and then we had an overall conversation about them too. So that's a great way to get like a high level overview of what's going on with fractals. And then also Optimism Retrofunding 6 was announced and is now open for applications too. So you can check out Optimism on X and sign up. And also Retrofunding is looking for volunteers to participate in Retrofunding Round 6. So everybody can comment below if you're interested in participating and helping the collective learn to decide how to allocate funding. And we also had a video about this from a couple weeks ago where you can learn more about Retrofunding Round 6. Also shout out to Patrick too, Patrick and Will, who created video talking about Kingfisher's Media and Optimism Fractal. I put out a tweet, all good. I put out a quick tweet, saying how great it is to see these kind of collaborations fostered, and you can see many more videos that he's released. Also, real quick, I updated the tools article on Optimistics, and there's a whole bunch of great tools you can now check out on the Optimistics.io/tools as well that are pretty well organized. With that, we're going to first see a quick overview of the new app Fractagram that Abraham is building, and then that's what we're going to try using today. In addition to Fractalgram, we can see what works out best, and what we're going to do now is play the Respect Game, which you can learn at optimistics.io/Respect Game. So everybody's going to go into groups, and everybody's going to get 4 minutes to share what they've been recently doing to help Optimism. Feel free to just generally introduce yourself as well. And then after everybody's presentations, we're going to use the Fractalgram app and work to reach consensus on who helped the most, the second most, third most, and so forth. And then people who help more will get more respect, and everybody will get respect if you can reach consensus. There's more details here. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions to people in the breakout room. Feel free to record. Everybody has recording permissions. Feel free to share your screen, and feel free to share any links to your work. We're happy to help promote your work. And we'll try to wrap the Respect Game a bit early, so we'll have time for the town hall as well. That was a lot. Okay, welcome, Howard. And I think I saw Carla joined as well. So well, yeah, thanks for listening. And Abraham, are you ready to give a quick preview of the app that you're building? And you want us to test out today?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I did put the URL in the chat on the Zoom, and just if you don't know me, I'm Abe. I'm a developer. I've been a developer for a long time. Last couple of years, I've been focusing in on crypto and really excited about trying to provide means for consensus, better governance, more equitable distribution of resources. So let me share screen here. So this app is very new, and this is literally the alpha version of it. So bear that in mind. But I've used ThirdWeb for the connection. You do have to connect with a wallet currently. The goal is later to be able to do, Google and Apple and all those OAuth providers will be integrated. So you're going to see an error and maybe a little bit of trouble in logging in, just a heads up. For this, I'm using MetaMask. Coinbase does seem to have a couple of bugs where they are sometimes broadcasting uppercase and versus lowercase wallet addresses. So I haven't quite solved that yet. But here you just click on MetaMask. You'll see this screen. You'll click on MetaMask again, and then you'll sign in. So this will make sure we know you're a real person. And then you'll see this client-side exception. Just refresh the page when you get that. I'll be working on that bug. But this is the admin page. So only administrators and eventually those with the appropriate hat, we're going to integrate those hats that we created, can see this page. And really what you're going to do is just the administrator will create a session by picking the people here. And then those that do not have administrator privileges will be kind of in a page like this. Most likely, all of you will be not seeing any recent sessions because you haven't been in any sessions. But you certainly, as you log in with your wallet, you will be asked to create a profile. It just gives your email, your Telegram, just so we know who you are. And once you create that, then you will show up in the administrator dashboard as logged in here. And then we can add you to a session. And as soon as I add you to a session, then you'll be able to see a session inside of these recent sessions, and you'll click join, and you'll be able to get in. So I'm just going to create a fake session real quick here. I am actually logged in as this guy, Abe Becker admin. And I think I've also got, let's see, I've got 2 other people. I think I've got test2, and I've got this guy. These are just fake accounts. I'm going to go ahead and create a session. It'll take a second. And then you'll see, just like we see in Telegram, we see this this consensus mechanism. You don't see any votes until you click on something. Let's say that I click on vote for myself. And then in here, I should see, let's see, we got session 25 here. I should see session 25 at the top for my other users. So I can click in here. And then if I click this, you'll see that the voting is measured per user. I can also go in here and I should see, I think this one didn't refresh for some reason. Yeah, this wallet's a little finicky, this encrypt wallet. Let's see if he'll let me in. Oh, he didn't get into the session. Okay, well, we're not gonna worry about that then. So let's just give Abraham. And this should, in the administrator view, give us consensus. All right, and then we'll click up here. We have start session for next level. And then that'll give us another view with only the folks that did not get consensus the last time. So now if we go consensus on this guy, we can click next again. And now it will display the wallet addresses and the names of those users and their rank. And so this will be, in the future, it'll be integrated with the OREC smart contracts. It'll actually send, assignable request over with these wallet addresses. And then the respect tokens can be distributed appropriately to the folks without any manual intervention. So that's it. We can all try and use it if you guys want. So feel free, as long as you have an administrator in your breakout group.
All right, excellent. Thanks so much, Abraham. See, Rosmari put it at the heart. That's really exciting to use. So the admins that are set, see the link there, and then we'll try that app out, and then we'll have the Telegram app as a backup. With that, if anybody wants to share any quick comments, then feel free. But otherwise, I'll start the breakout room, and I hope that everybody enjoys the respect game. All right, welcome everybody to the breakout room. We should probably get started pretty soon to make sure that we're timely. First, I'll just once again welcome Ed. Thanks for joining. If there's anything that you're that you have any questions or anything like that, getting into it for the first time, then feel free to share. Oh, everybody's frozen. I thought my computer froze. Yeah, if you have any questions or want to share any thoughts to get us started, then feel free. And otherwise, we can also just jump into the respect game, and whoever wants to go first can go. Okay, I think we're good. It looks like Ed doesn't have any questions. I know you're doing some research, so I appreciate that. And then, yeah, does anybody want to go first and share what they've been doing to help Optimism?
Yeah, I can go first. That will be short.
Sounds good. Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, I will share my screen.
Cool.
Okay, so I repeat again, but because there are new people also here that I don't know. So I am creating this fractal data collector. It's on fractalden.net. Den means digital extended networks, and fractalden.net, fractals, and then it's HTML, fractal data collector.html. It's an HTML5, so you can zoom in, zoom out in this mind map. All is reactive, responsive, and you can click on every category on the categories, and you arrive on the things. So, for example, here we have the UI respect game from Abraham that I have just added into the mind map on the side of Optimism Fractal. So if I click this category, I arrive into the respect game of Abraham. And I have also included the Kingfisher's media video that I just recorded indeed this Tuesday, and I edited yesterday to be ready for today. That was very short. And you have the ORDAO, the Tadas Veitikunas interview. You have also the Jacobo Manix for the Hats protocol interview. So that's the left brain. That's Optimism Fractal. And the right brain, it's upscale fractal. It's another fractal. There will be also an Hats protocol soon, because the goal is to link the trees between them. So Optimism has already a tree, and other fractal, or also kingfishers, will create an hat. So we can have our hats to get connected. So the goal is to have this unified mind map, graph, and also a cockpit. On top of this mind map, there will be a cockpit, a dashboard, where we will have KPIs, and we will be able to measure the performance of any fractal. For the moment, I have just mapped out Optimism and Upscale Fractal. So there are video, etc. And if you want to send links to the Optimism Fractal, you have add your category to Optimism Fractal. You just click this, and you arrive into a web form for submission. And you have just to include your URL, the name of the category that you want to see into the mind map, and the title of your contribution, a title. And then you submit. That's received into a database, and then the mind map is updated. And I propose very soon to add a new hat into the Optimism Fractal that the people will be able to claim if they have sent their contribution to grow the tree, the left brain of this mind map. Like this, there is a link with what we are doing. So that's what I am doing. Myself, I had the categories into this mind map, but I want also to let the people to add their category into the mind map. And a mind map can point to another mind map. So soon, if the Optimism Fractal is too big, I will create an Optimism mind map especially. And this one will the Fractal Data Collector will stay the meta mind map that is pointing to other mind map like this. That's make fractal links. So that's all for me, and thank you.
All right, very exciting. Thank you, Patrick. Would you like to pick somebody to go next?
I want to let go next Gabriel. I am excited to hear about Gabriel. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Nice. Okay, let's go. Hello, everyone. So I am Gabriel Novak from Blockful. Some people here already know me, and awesome to be here again. Blockful, before I enter in how we are working with Optimism to improve governance, Blockful is a company that built toolings for DAOs and in governance related and decentralized governance. So for Optimism, let me share my screen here. So there's a moment window. Okay. Governance, audit, and dashboard. Okay. Yeah. Okay, are you guys seeing my screen? All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what we are doing in Optimism right now is a governance audit and governance dashboard, right? So as Blockful is inside some DAOs that are like ENS, Uniswap, and we are doing governance audits on those DAOs to see what vulnerabilities are in the context of governance ethics, right? So how if a person buys amount of tokens, how this amount of tokens can bring vulnerability to the governance itself. So our goal here is to build a report of the governance model of Optimism and see the vulnerabilities that the Optimist could have, or what metrics we need to see to have this in track. And the second deliverable is a governance dashboard. So I don't have the UI right now to show you guys, but the governance dashboard will be like a dashboard that users, any token holder, any stakeholder from Optimism, you can see if the DAO is vulnerable. We can see what metrics the governance of the DAO have, and can interact directly with it, and we can anticipate some movements from the governance if the DAO like will have an attack in the future or something like that. So this is what we will be building for Optimism. That is a report of governance audit and a dashboard to keep track of all the metrics that a governance, decentralized governance must have, right? So yeah, soon we have more information or a new UI to accept for you guys. And in fact, a process running and this research, I'll come back here to present for you guys. Any
All right,
question?
awesome.
Awesome. And sorry to make a parenthesis, but you can click the Fractal Data Collector and send your link, and I will include your a link to your dashboard when you are okay. And then like this, we map out that into the mind map, and then that goes to your dashboard. Thank you. On data collecting on the side of the security, that's very, very powerful. Thank you.
Yeah. The goal is to index all the decentralized ecosystem in blockchain. But let's start with Optimism.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere. Yeah, sure. And that's the best place to start. Yeah, perfect.
All right, well, super cool. Thank you, Gabriel, for showing us the overview there and all the great work. And shout out to everyone else on the Blockful team as well. And congratulations on getting that grant approved too. If there's anything else you want to share, then feel free. I think you still probably had another 30 seconds of speaking time if you want. And if not, when you're ready, you can go ahead and pick somebody to go next.
Yeah, let's see. Tadas, Vlad, Kuna, I don't know if how I spell your name.
Okay, just Tadas. Okay. Yeah, so 1 moment, I will prepare. Yeah, so this week I've been working on maintenance issues related to ORDAO. ORDAO is a candidate app for the candidate smart contract and backend infrastructure for Optimism Fractal next version. And yeah, so I've been fixing some ORNode stability issues. So ORNode is a backend component which stores proposals to execute. And yeah, so I created a script to synchronize ORNode in case it misses some events because of some network issues or dropped connections, which does sometimes happen. It happened already, and I'm implementing reconnections to Infura node because it drops WebSocket connections periodically. Yeah, it's all these things are already done, but we need a bit more testing, and I plan to deploy soon in testnet and mainnet. I also implemented a fix to the method through which respect distributions to breakout rooms are fixed. Yeah, so currently if you miss one account in a respect distribution for a breakout room, you create another proposal to issue respect to that account. But previously the group number field was missing, so the respect award from that kind of fix would miss the group number, and now I fixed that. Again, it still needs to be deployed, but it seems to be working. I've also been in contact with auditors for ORDAO smart contracts from Nethermind Security. I've been filling out questionnaire that they passed on from Optimism about my project, so I'm applying to this through Audit Hub, Optimism program that we provide for audits. And yeah, there are a lot of questions to fill out, and it took me some time because it asks questions like what are the benefits of this application, and I can talk about it forever. So I had to really make it succinct. Yeah, also organized a list of current issues for our DAO project on GitHub. And yeah, that's about it. And I distributed Respect last week, which we finally passed proposal for. I think that's about it when it comes to Fractal contributions to this Fractal.
Thank you. I have never been so much respected recently. That's mean a lot. Thank you. At least we are paid. Respected, sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, respected and awarded. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much to Daos. If there's anything else you want to share, you still got a bit of time left. And otherwise, you can pick somebody to go next whenever you want.
Ed, could you go next?
Yeah, sure. Cool. My first time playing the Respect game, and I'm so happy though to see, like, to meet this community and to see what people are working on. I'm seeing some really cool stuff, and like, I thought maybe like independently that this would be the right way in the future to like to do money and to like, you know, like I don't want to get too into it right now, but let me just say I'm super excited to be like in this stream of thought that you guys have over here. So yeah, my first time playing, so maybe bear with me, but I guess I'll share some stuff that I'm working on either in Optimism governance or with OP Labs, and then I don't know, you guys tell me if I'm doing this right. So yeah, I guess my big thing right now is that I'm part of the developer advisory board at Optimism. And so we're like this board that gets elected, and our main responsibility is helping the grants council evaluate grants from like a technical perspective. So the grants council is very good, very experienced at like evaluating these different mission applications. I think there's a few people in the room that are familiar with the whole grants process. And but sometimes like they need more of like a technical perspective. So we come in, and every cycle, you know, me as a board member, I'll get like 10 or 11 grants to check out. And you know, then lately I've been just commenting in Charmverse. But Gabriel, you wouldn't have seen a board comment on your application because in cycle 25 we kept comments private. Anyways, yeah, so if you're like applying for a grant or something like that and you need a little bit of perspective from the developer advisory board, you can reach out to me. We're going to start doing some office hours. I know there's already grants council office hours. That's where I first got acquainted with Dan. And so this is a big part of my recent like contributions for Optimism. I do get a stipend for doing this, so I want to be transparent about that. I don't know how that interacts with any respect that I do or do not deserve, excuse me. So that'll be an interesting thing to figure out. And then I guess one more thing that I can share is yeah, maybe you guys can see this tab. So I work for Scopelift. We do smart contract development, a lot of governance related stuff. And so we're talking with Optimism and there's this interesting like fault proof system, kind of like safety nets that are built into the fault proof system, and they have ideas on how they want to change these safety nets to make them like easier to use and stuff. And so we're talking to OP Labs to contract with them to make these fixes. And so I'm throwing this in there too because I'm curious whether prospective contributions will be included in my respect calculation, or whether it's like gonna be oh, come back next time and maybe we'll figure it out then. So yeah, super curious about this game that you guys play. Thanks so much for having me, and thanks for checking out what I'm doing over here.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much, Ed. And yeah, those are good questions too that we've discussed many times about compensation and proactive things. So we can figure it out, and we can talk more about that. I think Patrick was about to say something too. And also, there's a message that Gabriel had shared in the chat as well, if you want to respond to that, Ed. And if you wanted to add anything else too, you still had a bit of time left as well.
Thanks. I'll put my Telegram ID in here, so you guys feel free to reach out anytime.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same. I was thinking exactly the same when hearing to to Gabriel, and to you, Ed, because that's very interesting. And feel free to contact. I don't obligate you, but I will be very happy to interview and break down into your project. That's very digest. It's 25 minutes, 30 minutes when all is cut and time-stamped. And I put into the mind map. That's my goal. Then I do a Twitter X. I tag Dancing Joy, the best dog in the galaxy. And then we improve this Optimism Fractal, because the goal is to leverage all what we do. Us, we know what we do, but the others know. So we have to increase the visibility on the social, and good visibility, heart, soul, and mind. So contact me if you are interested. We do a nice interview. You will do your best. Me, I am just here to, like with Tadas, to make sure that we have the information. Then that's my guest that is doing all the job. So just to be clear. Thank you.
Cool. Let's try it.
Voila. Yeah, baby. Yeah,
all right, voila. Sounds great. Thank you. Also, thank you, Ed, for the feedback on the mission. I saw you shared that this morning for the mission I created, so much appreciated. And thanks for sharing the work that you're doing with Scope Lift and the great overview. Yeah, if you wanted to add anything else real quick, then feel free. Otherwise, you can pick somebody to go next. And Jacob hasn't gone yet, and I haven't gone yet either.
The master of the hats.
Let me throw it over to Jacob then.
You, Ed. I am Jacob. I'm a Web3 developer. I'll just do a quick little intro. Web3 developer focusing on on-chain projects, on-chain applications. I know how to do smart contracts and build websites as well. So my contributions to Optimism this past week is going to be an app showcase. And I will start sharing my screen. Okay, there we go. I believe you guys can see now. Okay, so this is Engagement.vision, which is a way to track trust, or that's reputation and roles. Engagement.vision is a way to view the engagement of a address's engagement within a given ecosystem. It's attempting to gather on-chain data as well as off-chain data, perhaps Twitter posts containing certain hashtags or mentions, along with warpcasts. Also, there's planned integration with the talent protocol and their badges, and whatever other way you can measure engagement on a blockchain. And so the goal of this application is to kind of, one, provide a view to provide a view of someone's engagement on a blockchain, but also to amplify and activate the blockchain community, the blockchain's community. And you'll see, we'll dig in. So, okay. At its core, any EVM chain is compatible with it. And this is also completely open source at github.com/jacobhomanics/engagement.vision. And you can also access the public website, Engagement.vision. And you can start doing all this completely on your own right now today. Okay, so we're dealing with Optimism. So let's head over to Optimism. So if you want to find out how optimistic someone is, you can enter their address, ENS name, base name. It will try its best to resolve. So let's take a look at dansingjoy.eth. It's going to load, and we can see Dan's ENS profile gets pulled up. We can see his monthly score on Optimism, his yearly score, and his all-time score. So right now it's currently just pulling on-chain transactions, and it's just doing a arbitrary number calculation. And you can see the breakdown by day. So right now it's one transaction equals 5 points. So you can see Dan has here several months worth of data to look at. And that's that. So again, these points, there will be more points for like Twitter integrations, Warpcast, Talent Protocol, etc. The possibilities are endless. And so the whole point with that, more integrations can be added. We can even add integrations for specifically for the Optimism section of the site, where maybe if you have reputation tokens, respect tokens, it will increase your score even more. So that's on Optimism. Again, this is also multi-chain, so it supports the Superchain. So if we go over to Base, we can see Dan's a bit less active on Base, but hey, he's still there. And so you can kind of do this with any address. You can do an ENS name, you can do an address, you can do a base name. So I'm just going to do, for the sake of base names, jesse.base.eth. And we can see it's going to load his score. Jesse is very active on base. And then just for even more fun, let's go to mainnet and vitalik.eth.
Oh,
And
mamma mia.
yeah, so a lot of fun. So I'll finish up really, really quick. So this is just a way to, people can send screenshots. Maybe there's frames integrations to share this stuff on social media and, again, activate the community. So yeah, again, this was an app showcase. Hopefully this is helping the ecosystem. I want to get feedback on this and try and take it in the right direction for it to be useful for the Optimism ecosystem. So thank you for your time, guys.
I have a favor, Jacob. Can you put patnovabat.it to see what is the result?
On Optimism?
Yeah, I have just started at Optimism Fractal number 41, so that should not be very high, but just...
It's patnovabat. It's a bat,
patnovabat,
yeah.
Yeah, I am a bat, yeah, patnovabat.
Okay.
Oh.
You got 20. I got more than you on base. And but you're making a lot of progress quickly, Patrick. So I'm looking forward to seeing the growth of Patnovabat and awesome work with Engagement.vision. Jacob, thanks so much for building that and then sharing with us. Super exciting. If there's anything,
I will add to the mind map. It's deserved.
All right. Thank you, patnovabat.eth. Once we get some on-chain integrations too, that can help your score. Jacob, is there anything else you want to share? I think you finished it, but feel free to share any last thoughts. Otherwise, I can get into sharing my presentation. And also, Tadas, would you mind trying to commandeer, if that's the word, or just basically admin use that new Fractagram app that Abraham created? I think that might be helpful because I haven't started up yet, but maybe while I'm doing my presentation, you can figure out how to set that up and stuff.
Yes, I see. Wait. I think I don't see Ed and Gabriel. So if Ed and Gabriel could log in to that app, then I will set it up more quickly.
Okay, sounds good. That is respect-game.versal.app. I'm sharing the link in the chat. Jake could also share Engagement.vision. So yeah, if you could both please join there, that would be appreciated so that we can reach consensus and test out this new Fractagram app.
And also you, Dan, I don't think I see you.
Okay, yeah, I just tried signing in, so
MetaMask
hopefully
with MetaMask, that's worked very well. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm in the process of signing in, but I think that I'm signing a message right now, so I should be able to be there momentarily. And I suppose that I'll just get started with my presentation too. We're a bit short on time, so yeah, I'll try to get going and make sure that I'm timely.
But I don't see any session there.
Yeah, I did the login.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that Tadas maybe needs to start the session.
An
Yeah,
administrator has to create a
yes,
session.
I will start the session, but first I'm waiting for everyone to log in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I am in.
I'm typing in my account name right now, so I should be there now. I believe I now have, it says profile updated, so I should be in the system, so you can add me to the room. Okay, should I get my presentation started, huh?
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going to share what I've done to help Optimism this week. I'm also going to put the, where'd the timer go? Lost the timer. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, thank you for your patience. And now I'm going to share what I've been doing to help Optimism. So first I'm going to lead with some website updates. I made a lot of website updates this week. I mentioned before briefly that I kind of did an overhaul of the Optimistics tools page. Previously, it was kind of outdated with the focusing on the original tools we built, but there's been so much development that I took the time to like organize as well. I've been working on the past couple of weeks. Like I made several articles at ORDAO and OREC and the Respect Games app that Vlad is building and so forth. So whoops, didn't get my accent there. So yeah, I went through and just made these all look nice. I also made some nice thumbnails for them, made a page about the Optimism Fractal Hats Tree and so forth, and then also made a page about the development hub that I've been working on for a while and some inspirations for our software design. So I'm going to go through some of these updates. So this page shows kind of like the original software that we've been using for the past year. This was previously on the main page, but now I'm kind of just putting it like as a place where people can see it because we're going to be upgrading soon. I upgraded the Fractagram article, putting up some designs I created for a while for a Fractagram app. I don't know if Abraham will want to use this, but I'm kind of offering it in case he wants to. Fractagram was originally designed by Tadas, but then I provided some updates about Abraham's work with Howard on this and the planned integration with ORDAO and some of the cool features that they're building. Also, I curated some stuff about the Respect Games app that Vlad is building with another developer named Lenar. So this can use more work, but it shows an overview of some of the features, and then includes some of the videos. I did a video with Vlad a while ago, about a month ago. He's gonna be joining again soon, and the video that Patrick did with Vlad. And then I kind of updated a page about all about Fractal apps as well to show an overview of these Fractal apps that are allowing people to play the Respect game, including ORDAO and OREC and those. And then this development hub page, there's a development hub in Notion, but I kind of just like curated to show a high level overview of how it works with the Notion site. There's lots of things here and ways that people can get involved. And then I curated some designs from Fractally, which is where we got a lot of these inspirations. So a lot of this was like cleaning up because it was kind of all on one page. I also provided a lot of suggestions for Tadas about the ORDAO audit hub, and I provided some ideas about how he could use Claude and my workflow creation and any of my texts and stuff that I've written to supplement his proposal for his audit that he's working on. And I don't know if I did this week or last week, but I created a standard operating procedure for mission requests at the request of SOB, who's a grants counselor. So that shows people how to make mission requests and how to and why you'd want to do that. So and whatnot. Did a similar thing with the Optimistics blog. Most of these blog articles were already created, but I created a few of them. The growing communities, Fractal communities article I added on the recommendation of Tadas, and then a few other ones about missions too I also added there. So this one kind of provides an overview of some Fractal communities that have been using the Fractal process. So I kind of been curating this. It still needs a lot of work, but it's there. I curate a lot of the stuff that I've been doing with missions. I've written a lot about missions over the past months, and now I have kind of a update page where you can see all the videos we've created, as well as lots of text about different missions that I've created and different mission proposals and different overview of missions in general, as well as a page about the missions that we did in season 5, or mission requests actually. I've been planning to open source all of this, make the website so people can fork it. So that's something I've been researching into, to make it so people can just copy, the text I wrote and launch their own fractals. And I worked on a lot of updates to the Eden Creators videos and the Optimism Fractal Respect Game missions. I don't actually have it up in front of me right now. I kind of lost it. It's somewhere over here. Yeah, I had a big section to provide fund justification, to provide a lot of this is basically explaining to the Optimism Collective why fractals are helpful and Respect Game are helpful. So I did a big part about the fund justification section and showing how this is really helpful for both the Eden Creators team making videos, as well as the whole collective, and provide a lot more detail about what goes into it and the output expenses, and also how this can help the collective so much in governance in all sorts of different ways. I did that. I did a little section as well for the Optimism Fractal Respect Game, explaining the combination between the Respect Game and the videos. And then I created this proposal, and I reached out to David from Hats Protocol and put these proposal on that we'll discuss more in the Hats in the Optimism Town Hall. So I did that, and I made 4 questions as well that we can vote on as well. And then in addition, I also made a bunch of promotions too. I always collaborate with Rosmari's promotions, and yeah, so I collaborate in those, and I just put out some other ones to help spread the word. Thank you for listening, and that's it from me. If anybody has any quick questions or comments, we should try to wrap it up within the next 8 minutes. We're always working to get more timely about these, but we have the town hall right afterwards, which kind of makes it difficult to have like more time to relax and stuff like that. But yeah, if anybody has any quick questions that would be helpful for reaching consensus, then feel free to share them. And then if not, or whenever we're ready, we can start testing out the new Fractagram app. Is it ready to us?
Yes, you should see the session, and you should be able to log in to join that session.
Okay.
I see some people already
It works. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. I selected somebody, but I don't know. I don't know the particulars of the game yet. So if you guys could help me along with that, or just send me a link or something, and I'll check it out.
Okay, well, yeah, basically the idea is pick for level 6, this is the top level, pick who you think did the most of optimism in the past week. And that's basically it for right now. After we reach consensus, we have to reach consensus 4 to 6 of us to move on to the next level. So after we do that, we'll do level 5, which is who helped optimism the second most this week. So just basically use your judgment based upon what you saw. There's not too much pressure on, because we can always get more respect in future weeks and so forth. And then based on those rankings, the person who gets level 6 will receive about 60% more respect than the person who receives level 5, and that person who receives level 5 will receive about 60% more respect than the person who receives level 4, and so forth. And we'll all receive respect with more going to the people who receive higher levels. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay,
So
cool. This is cool. You can see it changing in real time too. What's that, Tadas?
I voted for Jacob because it's not that often that people can showcase a whole app, and it seems like a very recent creation, so I think that's impressive. And yeah,
I agree. And
Yeah, I
also,
agree.
I've been meaning to give Jacob more respect too, because I noticed that he got like level 3 or 2 or something like that in the past couple of weeks when he got when he did the Optimism Fractal Respect Tree and the other cool thing he built with the profile. However, I did vote for Ed though, because I think that Ed has been playing I mean, it's not just I think, but he's been playing a leading role in the Optimism Collective. I had the time to look into a bunch of different projects that he's done. I looked into like a proposal that he had made for the developer advisory board a few months ago, where he kind of laid an overview of what he was working on. And there's a lot of projects that have been very popular, like very widely forked, as well as I appreciate the feedback that he's been given to developer advisory board, or as a developer advisory board. So that's why I voted for Ed. Also could vote for Jacob too, but yeah, that's my rationale there. Does anyone want to change the vote or change right now? We have 33% for Ed, 33% for Patrick, 17% for me, 17% for Jacob. So we don't have consensus right now.
I vote for Jacob now. So we have 30%, 33% for interesting for Jacob and for Ed also. Nice.
Okay. If Jacob or Ed, you'd like to switch your votes to yourself, you can as well. Jacob, what was that you're going to say?
I was going to say, trying to get people to vote for Ed. I mean, you're working directly on the protocol itself, auditing the smart contracts. That's a pretty decent contribution. So
yes,
I'd rather not vote for myself if I don't have to.
And you are just coming today, so
yeah,
you need.
But
yeah.
see, that's prospective contribution. I haven't actually started on the work. We're just doing design review. So I mean, you guys have to weigh that, I guess. And meanwhile, I'm here voting for Pat because I'm excited about this like tree structured contribution stuff. And like, in fact, I can imagine like the respect algorithm iterating to where like you're assigning respect to this person, but then it all also like cascades down into everybody that helped you get to this point. So yeah, I think it's a really cool way to represent that data.
Thank you, and I enjoy to interview you. You can be sure when I say something, I do.
Okay.
And Novak, Gabriel, the same.
Sounds good. We only have 3 minutes left though. So we could go over, sometimes we do, but I want to make sure that we don't leave David just like waiting in the room. So I see Ed has 50% votes right now. Jacob has 33% and Patrick has 17%. Would anybody like to switch their vote? If anybody, one person switches their vote to Ed, then he would have consensus. So I'll also advocate for that as well.
Well, in terms of what has been done over the past week, I don't see how we won't vote for Jacob. Like this time
when the Tadas speak, you have to execute. That's
okay. You got me. I'll vote for Jacob. So Jacob got level 6. Thank you, Jacob. And now can you move on to level 5?
That was very well made, Tadas.
Now, either Ed or Gabriel. I'm okay with Ed getting level 5.
Okay, I see. I don't know how many people voted. That's one thing I don't know where this at, but I see Ed has 75% and Pat has 40%. Ed has 60% now. Does anybody? We don't have consensus. We need 66% to reach. And it seems like we've only had 5 people vote because we have not the numbers you'd have if you have 60. If you have 6 people.
If you want to 66, I have to call the evil. No, sorry.
Well,
okay.
Would anybody like? First off, there's one person who hasn't voted yet, so that one person, please vote. And then second off, I will advocate
I
for
have
Ed
vote.
once again.
We have
here.
60.
Okay.
I have just vote. We have 67, but I am not the evil. It's okay.
Okay, sounds good. We got Ed at level 5, and we'll move on to level 4. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Jacob. Much respect.
I'm voting for Gabriel because I think the idea of auditing the whole governance structure of a DAO is I really like it. No, it's not just about the code, but the whole structure, and it's very valuable.
And there will be the dashboard.
Sounds good. I agree. I voted for Gabriel as well. Do we have
Nice,
consensus? I see 66%.
Consensus and.
Bon, here we are in a choice very complicated, but I will advocate for Tadas. Tadas. Vote for Tadas. Now. Tadas.
No.
I'd be happy to vote for Daos. I'll also advocate for myself here. I appreciate very much what Tadas and Patrick are doing, but I got like level 2 and 3 and 4 over the past like 4 weeks, so I feel like I'm doing a lot, and that's why I'm voting for myself here. But I'm also happy to vote for Daos.
That's true. That's true.
As well. Okay. All right. Thank you. I think I have consensus now, 67%.
And now, between Tadas and Pat Novabat, I prefer that you vote for Tadas, because without ORDAO, we can do anything. So, and OREC. So vote for Tadas.
Okay.
Please. That's an order. That's an order. Vote for Tadas.
Order followed, yes, sir. We have consensus on the Daos, and now we have consensus on the rankings
Voilà.
too. This is pretty cool. So yeah, now I think just hit the push on chain button, I imagine, to post that on chain.
No, it won't work yet. It's not set up. We will have to copy the addresses manually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sounds good.
First you rank the people, then next stage you push on chain. So you have to give the link.
Yeah, maybe Tadas, if you can generate that for us and then share it in the chat, that would be much appreciated. Go ahead.
We're in the room too. Okay.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna open up. I see David's waiting for us too. Hey, Gene. So yeah, I'm curious to hear feedback about this and stuff like that. We'll just head back to the breakout room. And then if anyone needs to go at the top of the hour, then feel free. Thanks so much all for the amazing Respect game. And yeah, we'll have more time to talk at the in the community room. So I'll close the breakout rooms now.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Bravo. See you.
Hi. Hello.
Hey, Gene.
Hey, Dan.
Hey.
Oh.
Welcome.
The app is just working very well.
Oh,
congrats. Hallelujah.
Yeah, shout out Abraham. That app worked really well. Yeah, I think so. At least we haven't yet submitted consensus results, but it was really cool seeing the results there. So that was awesome. I want to give a special welcome to David. David is a co-founder of Hats Protocol, joining us today for the town hall. We were just talking about the app that Abraham built for Fractalgram, which is really cool. Hope that everybody had an amazing time in the breakout room. We have a lot to discuss and not so much time. So if anybody wanted to share a quick comment, feel free. I know in our room, at least, we weren't able to submit consensus with the app yet. So I know Tadas in our room is going to be sharing a link. Yep, Tadas has shared that. So if everybody could please submit consensus results when you get the chance over the next hour. So it goes on chain, then that would be much appreciated. Yeah, David, if you'd like to say hello, then feel free to say hello and introduce yourself. And if anybody had any quick comments or feedback on the Respect game, then feel free to as well. And then shortly I'll get into a presentation and then kick off the main event of the town hall with the kind of community interview game with David about Hats Protocol.
All right. Hi, everybody. Just a quick hello.
Hello. Can you hear me? Check.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep, team, we can hear you.
Could I ask why the breakout rooms were so short?
It ended at the top of the hour, which it always does. It was 1 hour long. We actually went a bit longer.
Sorry. Apologies. I was late. Apologies. Thanks.
All right. No problem. Thanks for joining. It's great to see you, and hope you'll be able to join earlier next time. And sorry, Dave, what were you saying there?
Oh, just introducing myself. One of the co-founders of Hats Protocol. Doing decentralized organizing in various forums for the last 12 years, and came more into the Dao Web3 space in 2021 to address some of the issues that I was seeing with kind of IRL coordination that I was doing, and Hats was born, and I can get more into Hats in a little bit.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you, David, and welcome. Thanks so much for joining us today. Really excited to learn more about your work with Hats. And yeah, thanks so much also for selecting Optimism Fractal as a co-winner of the Hats Tree, and thanks so much for organizing that. That was super cool, and looking forward to getting more into it. Welcome, Zaal, too. Special welcome. Thanks for joining. And I think we'll get into the presentation now, and then yeah, I'll give a little overview of the town hall and Hats Protocol for maybe 5 minutes or so, and then we'll have a community questions game. If anybody wants to post questions, I posted 4 questions. We're trying a new game where anybody can post questions on the Snapshot space, and then you can vote on those questions. And so those will be the questions that we discuss to ask Jacob basically about Hats Protocol. I'll give a brief overview first of Optimism Town Hall and Hats Protocol and stuff like that, and then we'll get into the questions. 3, 2, 1. And go. All right, welcome everybody to the Optimism Town Hall. Thanks so much for joining. We have this event every Thursday at 18 UTC. Everybody's welcome to join. It's a collaborative forum dedicated to conversations about the Superchain, featuring innovative community agenda games where participants choose the topics. So it's a great place to learn about the latest developments on Optimism, help lead the collective, and explore opportunities. We can do it with the Optimism Fractal community. because we just had the Optimism Fractal event, and every week you get to choose the topics for the game that we call agendas, short for community agendas. Basically, the way it works, you can learn more at optimistic.io/agendas, but whichever topic has the most votes at 17 UTC on Monday is a topic that we'll discuss. Much more we can discuss there. Lou.mouse/optimistics is where you can register for the Optimism Town Hall, as well as the Optimism Fractal and many other events that the Optimistics teams present that we host. And optimismfractal.com is Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance in the Superchain. We just met an hour earlier to play the Respect game. Everybody's welcome to join both these events and invite friends and so forth. And you can watch the videos for both Optimism Fractal and the Optimism Town Hall at optimismfractal.com/videos. Currently, the Optimism Town Halls are published as like the end of, or like the second half of the Optimism Fractal videos, and there's show notes for each one too. For example, we had a few weeks ago, we had a episode about the Optimism Fractal Hats Tree, Let's Grow Hats Tree, and Hats Protocol that you can learn, and there's lots of show notes for each one too, where you can dive in more deeply. So encourage you to watch and share with friends to learn more about everything that's going on, as well as join us. You can find this on the Eden Creators YouTube channel in addition to, as well as many great videos. For today's agenda. So I'm excited for an epic episode of Optimism Town Hall this week, and so is Jacob, and so is Rosmari. Rosmari is asking if people have had the chance to check out that Hats episode from a few weeks ago. If you haven't yet, please do. And this will be a great follow-up discussion. We'll be growing optimism with Hats Protocol. With David Ehrlichman, who's the founder or co-founder of Hats Protocol, Haberdasher Labs, which is a pun for anybody who doesn't know Haberdasher Labs. It's just a cool thing. I don't know if it's a pun, but it's a hat shop basically. And the author of the book Impact Networks too, and also a organization called Converge too. So I put out a proposal over here on Snapshot where we can learn more about both David and Hats Protocol and the different topics that have been proposed too. So you can find this on the Optimism Town Hall Snapshot space. At the top, you'll see 4 questions that I put in as part of a community questions game. Everybody else is welcome to put up their own questions too, as well as vote on questions. We'll get into those after giving a little overview. So basically, first off, at today's episode, the most upvoted topic is diving deeper into Hats Protocol with David. So we'll talk more about the organizational power of Hats Protocol. I kind of gave an overview about David already, but in the book Impact Networks, there's some really interesting podcasts about it and showing how purpose-driven networks create lasting change by embracing interdependence and generating impact through collaboration. He's also co-founder of Converge, a network of consultants who are cultivating impact networks. There's a documentary about this where you can learn more. And yeah, so maybe we'll probably give a little recap. I'll give a little recap of the Hatathon and future integrations between synergies with Hats and Fractals, David's vision for Hats Protocol. Anybody can ask questions so we can see what we can discuss. I'll also give a little overview or preview into the project that we have for Optimism Fractal, planning for more integrations with Hats Protocol, and a mission proposal that I'm planning to implement Hats Protocol in a more detailed way to create a kind of massive online role-playing fun distribution game. And like I said, we have this community interview game. So basically, whichever topics or whichever questions have the most votes on Snapshot will be discussed. So we're trying this out for the first time. We'll see how it goes. Basically, I'll continue this presentation a little bit. In the next couple of minutes, we'll get into this. But first, I'll give a little overview, more details about those things that I had just shared once I stop getting lost here. So you can check out David on X, David Ehrlichman, and you can check out all the stuff that he's working on his website that you can find on X. And I believe it's on what the website is. David can clarify. And hatsprotocol.xyz, which we provide a lot more overview of in the episode a few weeks ago. But Hats Protocol helps organizations work better with Hats, save time, automate onboarding, and make better decisions with programmable on-chain roles. It's a full-stack solution for organizing on-chain management of roles and powers. It's super, super helpful. I actually had the pleasure to meet the Hats Protocol team at an event that they hosted in East Denver. Thanks so much for hosting that event. And that's also where I met Jacob and many other people too. So that was super cool to meet the Hats team. Shout out to Nick and Spencer and Ido and everybody else who's building the Hats Protocol. You could check out converge.net and find the impact networks here. I'm very interested to see more details about how it all fits together in David's mind. But this book is really interesting and recommend people check it out, as well as Converge in general too. Really beautiful website that is here. And I think lots of relations with what we're doing here at Optimism Fractal too. So just for a bit of an overview here. In this documentary, I watched it just this past week, and it's very interesting too. So I want to give a little overview of David's work here and encourage people to check out all the great things that are going on in Hats. And then, yeah, once again, this episode shows an overview of the Optimism Fractal Hats Tree. as well as the Let's Grow Hats Tree, which are the two co-winners of the Hats Tree. Shout out to Jacob, who I teamed up with to build the Optimism Fractal Hats Tree. And thanks once again to the team at Hats Particle and Haberdasher Labs for putting this out there as well. Shout out to the Let's Grow team, Jerry and Wasabi, who joined the event a few weeks ago as well. So you can learn much more about all of this and how the hackathon worked and so forth, as well as the Hats Trees and some great tweets that Hats Protocol put out a few weeks ago. And we appreciate likes and reshares and stuff. Patrick also did an interview with Jacob Homnex about it too. So thanks everybody for the amazing work. And then real quick, I just have this project that, in case people haven't seen it, I've been working on a project to integrate Hats Protocol for past almost a year now. It was originally brought up by Hatathon, who shared a kind message in the chat today. Hatathon and Nuno and some other people have been really excited about integrating Hats with fractals. So we have a project here with all sorts of potential integrations that we're planning, that I'm thinking about basically, and other community members have mentioned, as well as some other videos that we've done in the past about Hats Protocol about potential integrations. So far we start with kind of basic integration, as you could see in the video from last week, but there's so much more we could do with Hats that I'm really excited to explore. We'll only get the chance to explore some of it today, but just to want to give people a high level overview. And on that note too, I think I didn't bring it up, but I have a mission proposal that has Hats Protocol. Oh yeah, it's over here. A mission proposal for Optimism Fractal Respect Game that has Hats Protocol as like a central component, as well as the Roles and Reputations app that that Jacob is building too. So yeah, I'll wrap my presentation momentarily, but just to share a little bit, I'm working on this proposal here, utilizing Hats Protocol to create an on-chain system, and also using Roles and Reputations. Shout out to Jacob, who just played the Respect Game too. He built a really exciting app, or I suppose software stack called Roles and Reputations. Got awarded with a grant for it from Optimism, and this uses Hats Protocol, and he's been sharing lots of cool stuff with it too. So really excited about how Optimism Fractal can integrate all these things, and then people can learn more in the resources. We'll share it in the Discord. Everybody's welcome to join. And with that, I'll wrap up my presentation and just show the 4 questions on the agenda, as well as which one has the most votes. Once again, people are welcome to vote or propose topics throughout the event if you'd like. We only have about 15-20 minutes left remaining for David's time, so we'll try to be as concise as possible and try to be respectful and so forth, and try to make sure we get as much cool information, cool discussions in. So the 4 topics that I proposed so far, and it looks like I'm the only one who's proposed a topic so far, are what is David's vision and plans for the future with Hats, and what is David most excited about? And you can see this one has 1.5K OPF with 4 people voting. So 1.5K for David's vision, 497 for what does David think about the future integrations between Hats Protocol and Optimism Fractal, and what integrations sound most exciting or helpful. Thank you, King Finch's Media, for voting for this one. 1K OPF for what does David think about the inaugural Hatathon and the Optimism Fractal Hats Tree, and 3 voters there. Oh, one other thing I can note too is that there's an upvote and an abstain button here too. So if you want to just use some of your voting power on this, then you can. Ideally, it would make it so it's like not using the word abstain, but that's basically a way if you want to just allocate some of your voting power, then you can. And then lastly, this one also has 1.5K OPF. What motivated David's commitment to impact networks and Converge for over a decade? And how is that vision advancing through his current focus on Hats? So it looks like there's a tie here with 1.5K for both of these, or 1,465, and this one has a little bit more actually. So we'll start out. This one has over 1,500. So the first topic will be what is David's vision and plans for the future with Hats, and what is David most excited about? And then, assuming that there's no other votes, if anybody else votes for something, please let us know. Assuming there's no other votes, then we'll jump into what motivated David's commitment for Impact Network and Converge. But yeah, first off, feel free also, David, if you want to just provide any more introduction as well, then you're welcome to. Thank you everybody so much for being here. And David, I pass it to you. What is your vision and plans for the future for Hats, and what are you most excited about? And thanks everybody for voting and making this game special.
All right, thanks everybody. Well, awesome to be here. Been following this community for quite a while, and it's great to see it develop. So where did Hats come from? Maybe it's helpful to think about where we've been before we talk about like where we're going. As I shared, I was doing coalition building, network building, for over 10 years, and a lot of in real life, kind of bringing organizations together to coordinate around big complex systems. And actually, when COVID hit, we had to move a lot of the in real life stuff we were doing to all virtual, and And that was a challenge to figure out how to, coordinate better across the internet. But also, just in every case, when networks are coming together as equals, it's really usually unclear who has the authority to do what on behalf of the collective and how the collective holds people accountable, because there's not kind of the typical hierarchy of people delegating roles and responsibilities and holding those, below them in the hierarchy accountable. It's people coming together across organizations and as equals. And networks like that are usually really good at sense making, at coming up with, bringing the different perspectives together and figuring out what might happen or what key leverage points in the system are, but usually not as good at actually getting things done because of those challenges. And so, after I finished the book, Impact Networks, I was really curious to explore that edge. And it led me in, to look at what was happening in DAOs and kind of how the space was pushing forward governance experiments more than I saw in any other space. And I started to build a network of DAO operators and DAO leaders as a learning network. And from that, met two of my co-founders, Spencer Graham and Nick Naragi, who've been in the space for a long time. And collectively, we started Hats to try to help solve this issue, to try to help people coordinate better when there's distribution of shared ownership, and to provide a backbone for decentralized work. And so I'll share my screen. I think some visuals are helpful. What are hats? Hats are roles, and roles bundle some really important things. Roles bundle context of what you're committing to doing, your responsibilities. But then roles also bring in kind of two really key elements. Number one is powers and permissions. Like, what are you actually able to do? What have you been delegated the power and the authority to do on behalf of the collective, which can be revoked or tied to specific criteria. And then the other side of it is accountabilities. Who or what is this role accountable to? And using blockchain, we're able to automate a lot of this and to increase the operational efficiency of organizations, and also, as I said, provide a backbone for decentralized work. And so this is just want to share a few different Hats trees just as examples. This is our tree for Haberdasher Labs as a whole, but we are also spawning a proto DAO. Because Hats protocol needs to be a credibly neutral protocol. And so we're in a decentralization process to create a DAO to collectively govern the protocol. And you can see we have a community member hat, which like one of the Optimism Fractal hats has a agreement eligibility modules. People can sign our community agreements and join the community, and you're all welcome to do that. Go to community.hatsprotocol.xyz. That gets you the Hats community member hat, which then actually gives you the ability to join our Telegram and join our base and Charmverse. And then as people make contributions to Hats, they receive on-chain reputation points, which are called proto rep. If you have these reputation points, you become a Hats contributor, and people are also welcome to apply to be a Hats steward, which is people who are able to convert their reputation points into voting power to actually have governance power of Hats proto DAO. And as I said, Hats bundle two things: powers and accountabilities in particular. Those are the two really powerful parts of the protocol, in addition to just the visualization. But these are the current integrations that are available, that people wearing a given hat actually have the power to control an Ethereum account. Excuse me one sec. Have signing authority over a safe multi-sig, get stream compensation to that role. And that's all under the accounts and resources bucket. Under the communication bucket, post to Farcaster or moderate a shared Farcaster channel, which is that's happening really soon as they're shifting that. Access to Telegram groups, access to specific roles and channels and permissions in Discord, push chats, and governance voting. Actual governance power. Different voting weight on Snapshot. For example, you can set different roles at different levels of voting weight on Snapshot, or only certain roles can push proposals to Snapshot, as well as whatever kind of other voting system you use. And then read, comment, write access in Workspace like Charmverse and Fileverse, and access to forums and Deforum and Google Docs. So over time, the question, where do we see Hats going? it's to continue to expand the number of these integrations, so that a hat, a role can really bundle and tap into any kind of software tool that you might want to use, whether that's a Web3 tool or a Web2 tool. And so we have different plans to build that. And also as we build the proto-DAO and the eventual Hats DAO, we see that as sort of like an increase in the power of sort of a buying club to create and push towards different integrations that organizations want to use, so that ultimately every kind of software tool they want, they can tie together in their Hats tree or this organizational graph, which serves as sort of the source of truth for the roles and permissions. That's one kind of future vision. The other is Hats not just like as an app, but really as the roles and permissions layer for the new internet, for the decentralized web. And so we are seeing integrations, other groups using Hats as their roles and permissions layer, and people may not even know that they're using Hats. It's happening behind the scenes, and we really hope that continues. That would be the best possible future for Hats, I think, is that it's just the roles and permissions layer, behind other apps and protocols. And we had to build a front end UI so that people could interact with the protocol and understand it and so forth. But over time, we hope that this is just one of many front ends. We're actually starting to see that decent DAOs integrated Hats, and all the DAOs who use the decent DAO platform can use Hats to assign multi-sig signing authority and run elections with Hats and things like that. Fileverse is integrating Hats, so we're starting to see that, and that would be a great future for Hats. The other side of it, which is Optimism Fractal, it uses really well in its tree, but is largely like underutilized, I would say, across different Hats trees, is the automated granting and revocation of these roles based on really any type of on-chain data. And so anybody can build what we call a module that serves as an extension to Hats, an extension for roles, that a given Hat and all of its permissions and powers can be automatically granted or claimable by people who fulfill that criteria. And when they no longer fulfill that criteria, it's automatically revoked and they instantly lose their powers as well. And right now we are finalizing the ability in the app to chain multiple of these modules together, so you can choose many different types of eligibility rules for a given Hat, and then tie the different powers to that Hat. That in terms of the future focus, as I said, anybody can actually build these modules and then submit them to the Hats modules registry, which is curated by the Hats proto-DAO. So that'll be the centralized curation process. And in terms of a future vision, the idea is that there will be many different module builders who are building interesting ways for Hats to be revoked and granted automatically, and submitted to the registry, kind of serving all different kinds of use cases. Yeah, so I will stop there. And then the second question was, can you remind me, Dan?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Jake. I'm so sorry. Thank you, David. That was a great presentation. The second question that has the second most votes is, let me just refresh it real quick and make sure. Yeah, this one still has the second most votes. What motivated your commitment to impact networks and Converge for over a decade? And how is that vision advancing through your current focus with Hats?
Yeah. So without going into too much detail, it was working in different organizations a long time ago and seeing how particular I went to MCon and got a bug, so I'm still recovering from that. Yeah, I was working in a nonprofit. Better. Yeah, thanks. I was working in a nonprofit organization a long time ago and saw how they were doing awesome work supporting individual people and kind of the symptoms of a broken system, but weren't working with other organizations very well. And there's lots of funding constraints and challenges associated with that. And so I was curious how we could work across organizations and across systems to address complex issues rather than in individual organizations. And so that led to my work with impact networks and providing the facilitation and the kind of backbone support that groups need to coordinate across sectors and across organizations. And doing that work for so long kind of shared how that led to my path with Hats. But why that's a commitment, and this continues to be a commitment, is I just really believe that people deserve to have a voice and the ability to shape the things that they're contributing to. And there's a better way to organize ourselves rather than these extractive systems where there are entrenched power structures that are captured, and a few people at the top disproportionately receive the value out of the system versus the people who are contributing to it. And I really believe in a future where people have shared ownership in the things that they're contributing to. And so far, hierarchical systems are everywhere because they're highly efficient and really good at what they do best. So it's become the dominant organizing structure. But I hold out the belief and the hope that decentralized systems can be as or more efficient and effective as hierarchical organizations. And we just need to do some work to get there, including building these types of platforms that actually enable us, including with blockchain technology, to share ownership and to create structures and systems that enable us to get things done while remaining capture resistant. So that's a huge just value for our team, value around decentralization, around composability, and around open source. Hats protocol is open source, hence why it needs to be incredibly neutral and controlled by the collective, we believe. So that's really the driving force of our team.
All right. Thanks so much, David, for the great overview, as well as all of the great work with hats. I appreciate it immensely. I see Abraham said he 100% agree. Patrick sharing the Hats Tree for Optimism Fractal. He also did an interview with Will about the Hats Tree that they're building with Kingfisher Media, and all sorts of good comments in the chat. I know you got to go in a few minutes, David. I see Will has his hands up too. I'm wondering, there's another question that has over 1,000 votes too. So I'm wondering if you have time to answer that, David. And then we'll also, just by the way, we have a half-hour schedule for this, but we can also go longer. So I think David has to go in a few minutes. Maybe we'll just prioritize David this last question first, and then if you want to share something real quick, Will, then feel free. But otherwise, we can have maybe more of an open community conversation after David goes, and maybe give him some time to answer the last question, if that sounds good.
Yep. And what's the last question?
Okay, cool. Well, there's 2 more questions, but I suppose we'll get into the other question for another Optimism Town Hall episode, or I know you also host office hours too, and we're in contact in the Telegram chat. By the way, there's an Optimism Fractal and Hats Vertical Telegram chat that we can follow up in. So that one that we can follow up on is about future integrations between Hats Vertical and Optimism Fractal and so forth. But the last, but the one with the third most votes that now has over 1,000 votes, thanks for voting, is what does David think about the inaugural Hatathon and the Optimism Fractal Hats Tree?
Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. This will give me a chance to share some more trees. So love the Optimism Fractal tree, and we love the use of these eligibility modules. You have to hold a certain number of Optimism Fractal, also the agreement module. You got to sign the agreement to wear this hat, and then you have to wear multiple hats in order to be a respect game leader. And we could actually make that automated, so that in order to claim the respect game leader hat, you have to be holding the rising star and the fractagram certification hat. So just love the design of this one, and I was also personally intrigued by the mystery hat. This was one
that was an accident.
I know, I figured, but I like the concept of it. It's like, this gives you secret powers. What is it going to be?
We'll see.
This was the other one that was a co-winner from Let's Grow DAO. Just thought the kind of thoughtfulness of their organization in terms of different roles and stuff was really interesting. And they've started to add in some eligibility modules here too, like you have to hold at least 25 grow to hold these roles. Here are a few more. This was from Open Civics. They used the safe signing authority really well, which is actually something now that can be deployed directly from in the Hats app. So under authorities, you can say add a safe. And then from here, you can tie the hats to signing authority on different safes, or actually deploy safes directly from here. This was one from Hansa Labs. They're still building this out. But just like the structure here, and there's, you know, Farcaster hat has authority to post on Farcaster. It's one of the integrations that we developed. There's some really interesting other trees. This wasn't from the hackathon, but just wanted to share. There's kind of 4 common use cases that we're seeing pop up over and over again, and I'll wrap with this. Number 1 is hats for multi-sig signing authority, but in particular for councils and committees. And so, you know, giving like a security council, like in the case of Purple, the ability to have signing authority over a safe, and then tying that to actually Zodiac roles mod, so that this security council, it only has the ability to veto proposals from the DAO, not to pass proposals, but to veto proposals. So really security council, and that's a common pattern we're seeing. Another is elections. So automating kind of the election results and actually giving the winners of elections, whether from Snapshot or something else, the actual powers to do things. So electing people into a role, which could be compensated as well. And so that's actually an example here, this grants chair and this revenue chair. Also, these were elected roles actually from a Jokerace. So the number 1 winner in this Jokerace is eligible to hold this revenue chair hat, and that gives them signing authority on this multi-sig, and also their streaming compensation directly to this role for as long as this person is in this role. And when their term limit expires, their hats are revoked, and they lose the compensation stream, and they lose the signing authority. So yeah, multi-sig signing authority in elections, the automated sort of onboarding and access control, which you're seeing with Optimism Fractal, is a third, in which we see in the Hats community. You know, so we have 400-something community members, and I haven't had to manually give these people access or revoke their access. It's been all automated, so that saves us a ton of time. And then the last one is around hats for grants programs. So RareDAO, for example, has a grants committee, but then they have also other roles like foundation director and then DAO ops team. Each of these people have different like permissions along the grants review process. And then the grants committee members actually have signing authority on the safe that distributes the grants. All those different kind of permissions across the grants review process are apportioned with hats. So as you transfer people in and out of these different roles, you don't have to change all the sort of permission mechanisms behind the scenes. It's just that automatically is granted and revoked based on the hats. So hats for grants. And then the next one, which we're finishing up now, is hats for Farcaster. So sharing Farcaster accounts and also decentralized channel moderation on Farcaster. And then we're just wrapping up over the next 2 weeks a new integration with Unlock protocol, so you can actually charge membership for a given hat, and require people to subscribe to be a member of a community, whatnot. And as long as they are continuing that subscription, they are able to access the community channels and workspaces and have voting rights and things like that. So that's one that we're looking forward to. But yeah, happy to answer any questions on Telegram. I'm there at Dave Ehrlichman, DAVEHRLICHMAN. I'll put that in here. Feel free to reach out anytime, and happy to jump on one of these again. So thanks for the invite.
You're very welcome, David. And thanks so much. And you also mentioned davidehrlichman.com is where you can find links to both hats and your other personal work too. I saw a couple people in the chat saying, for example, Abraham said he had to jump off. Thanks so much, David. Sensing alignment on goals with hats. Hope you feel better and looking forward to next time. Also, shout out to him and Howard, who are integrating hats into the fractagram that they're building. Zaal is also planning to integrate hats as well. So really cool to see all this, all the things that our Rosmari put. Much respect to David. So yeah, thank you so much for the great presentation, as well as all the great work, and looking forward to following up with you in the future. You're very welcome to join back whenever you'd like. And yeah, looking forward to next steps. We have lots of exciting collaborations to do, and also excited to learn more about all these different organizations and communities that are using hats. I recommend people check out your Twitter. You have a great article about the vision of hats where you can learn more details. And then also I've seen there's a lot of growth with hats. There's lots of communities adopting it. So just want to say way to go. And thanks so much, David. Yeah, looking for the next steps.
Appreciate it. Yeah, always happy to support Optimism Fractal, what you all are doing. So reach out anytime. Take care. Bye, everybody.
All right. Take care. Thanks, David. I see Will's unmuted too. Do you want to say something, Will?
No, I was just going to say, I guess I'm the beneficiary of both worlds. worlds of being part of the Hats Tree for both organizations that won the Hatathon. So, and yes, based on my interview with Pat kind of pulled it out of me through the interview. We are looking at integrating Hats protocol with KF Media, so stay tuned for that.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks, Will. And also thanks for once again coordinating or helping to coordinate that collaborative episode we did with Let's Grow, as well as all your work with Let's Grow and Optimism Fractal. Much appreciated. I see also in the chats, Patrick said very insightful, and Rosemary said congrats, Will, and thanks for joining. Learned a lot. So great to hear. Yeah, I think Patrick is going to share something just to know the time too. So we do try to be pretty punctual, but we can go a bit longer. And obviously, like it would have been nice if David could have stayed a bit longer so we could have more open conversation as well. But he has a schedule going on. So yeah, if you want to have any, I suppose, any last thoughts to share, reflections on hats, then we can have some time to do that. Of course, if anybody needs to go, then feel free to do so. And thanks everybody so much for being here at the town hall. I see Patrick raise his hand. Thanks for raising your hand, Patrick. What would you like to share?
Yeah, what we are leaving now is just Angular point because we have a lot of data. We have to leverage this data. And with the Hats protocol, I understand why you were excited since the beginning of Optimism Fractal with the Hats tree. Me, I have just joined at Optimism 40 or 41. I was falling in love with the Hats tree. Since then, I have interview Jacob. And since then, I see a lot of potential, not potential, I see a lot of materialization to make all this data very well empowered and turn this data into information and into knowledge. That's what it is. And we are into this era of digital extended networks. And the video with Will, shout out to Will, by the way, for the nice interview that I had with him. I thank you very much, Will. Very great content. 25 minutes, 30 minutes, not more, all timestamp, straight to the point, not waste the time of the people, very important. Respect the time of the people. So that was very insightful. Jacob, insightful. Tadas, that is no more here, very insightful also with ORDAO. And I plan to interview other because it's not a fireside. So we have to leverage this data and map out, make those trees. And last point, very important to link the trees. Otherwise, everyone has his tree on his own. And if it is not connected, let's say with the Optimism Fractal Hats Tree, that is let's say the meta tree of all the other trees. If we can do that, we just do the fractal as it should, fractally, bottom-up approach and all. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited. It's a yeah baby moment. And yeah, the presentation of David was just insightful. Yeah, about the Hats tree. That's the Tim Berners-Lee version Web3. And by the way, Tim Berners-Lee is from Switzerland. He made the World Wide Web. So now with David, we are into the next version. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick. Is there any, I'm going to respond to that, but first off, Rosemary said she had to go. See you all again next week. Thanks for joining. Thanks so much, Rosmari. If there's anything else you want to share before you go, then feel free.
No, I actually started to type the question to David, but realized that it was late. If he thinks Optimism is a good candidate for Hats Tree, that would be like
Optimism.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the whole collective?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. If there is a limitation on the hats, max number of hats that can be minted or worn.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I haven't heard about a limitation, and I imagine I don't know if I imagine there's not, and I hadn't thought about that, but I think it's a good idea. So maybe we can invite David for another one and have him answer that one, as well as we can also reach out to him in the chat too at any point and ask him that. But that's a good idea though. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
I will contact David and interview him also. So yeah, I will interview everyone until I die. because we have to not waste our time. We have to go and make that very well. I see Rosmari has the eyes bigger than the body. She was already thinking to the entire optimism. So if we can maybe focus a little bit on Optimism Fractal, show have enough value into our circle, and when it is made, we can reach the entire collective for sure. But yeah, I agree with Rosmari. That's the time to showcase what we are able to do without to convince anyone, because you are doing a great job here, and I enjoy to continue to join.
All right, thank you, Patrick. And yeah, once upon a time, also Rosemary's been thinking about doing some interviews too, so that might be an interesting thing to see at some point. I know she has the Community Stories podcast. Would love to see more of it. So maybe a little teaser. We'll see. I still don't know yet, but and I really appreciate the interviews you're doing with Patrick. Patrick, those are awesome.
I will give a little, let's say, surprise here. I will interview at a point Dan, Rosmari, maybe Abraham also, into a package, an Optimism interview package. We will do something. We will see.
Okay, cool. Looking forward to it.
Some alpha here.
Somehow out to alpha, yeah. Well, thank you, Patrick. Really appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to share with me before you went? I don't want to keep you too long because I know it's.
Thank you. I'm fine.
Okay.
See you next week. Thank you.
Thanks
see
so
you,
much,
Rosmari.
See you next week.
You are
Bye.
very happy, I see.
Bye, Rosmari.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
I will take Patrick.
All right.
Yeah,
and
Rosmari was very happy.
Yeah, she seemed like she enjoyed the event. She said so. She said she learned a lot. So that's good to see. Also, Patrick wanted to respond. I thought I wrote notes about what you said before, but thanks for the interview with Will. And thanks also for the end. That was very nice to hear that feedback off the Fractal, and glad you're enjoying it. And then also you had shared the Fractal Den. So thanks also for curating that in the data collector as you've been sharing. Also, we are 42 minutes in, so we could wrap it up at any point. I'm curious, Patrick, if there's anything else you want to share, or Will, or Jacob. Anything else we should talk about, or should we wrap it up?
You were not in our breakout room, and I know you've probably supported in previous Gitcoin rounds. So there is a Jokerace going on right now for climate solution projects hosted by the Climate Coordination Network. I can share the links. The first thing you have to do is you have to go on Guild. You have to join their guild, and then it automatically tallies your votes based on your level of participation. And then once you get those votes, you can go to the Jokerace and apply those votes. You have to read through all the amazing projects that are in there. There is a lot of stake for these projects because first place gets 10K, second 5K, third 3, second or fourth 2K, fifth 1K, and then 6th through 10th will each get $500 in the prizes on the Jokerace. And for some of these projects, that amount of money, is pretty serious capital for them. So I'm just sharing it. Every touch point I have, I'll share it in the Optimism Fractal TG if that's appropriate. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So you should.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's
Will.
appropriate. So
yep,
yeah.
There's also the Discord too if you want. There's like the show your projects there where you can edit there as well if you want.
Okay. I'll put it in the Discord as well, so we can get maximum visibility on it. But if you've been a supporter of either GG20 or GG21 in the climate solutions rounds, you automatically get 20 votes. So I think that's pretty cool.
Nice. About that,
yep.
Dan, I just want to tell you, I am not familiar very well with the snapshot and the proposal and all that, but I want to materialize the proposal that I have just made with voice. It's about to create a new hat into the Optimism Fractal tree. It's to make that the people can enrich the data of the Fractal Data Collector, send their links there, and if they do that, they can claim an hat. I want to see that. Jacob also, we discussed of. I stated to him that I would want to do that, but I have not yet asked you formally, Dan. So at a point, I would want that we that we brainstorm maybe what is the best way to do so, to have some incentivized mechanism for the data to be unified through collection by the people. Because if it is only me putting the links into the mind map, that will be just my mind. If it is the other minds with us, we do an heart, soul, and mind thing. You see? So we could do something very collective because we are supposed to be fractal. So that will be a good showcase because the Optimism Fractal tree is very great. It is not complicated tree. It's very well made. I understand why David was falling in love with this tree because it's very well made. So yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, baby, we should do that at a point. No rush. Just do the work, and the fruits will come. I love this community. I have never really left, but I had other things to do. And I fallen in love with Kingfisher Media. That's very nice. Fallen in love with Jacob. And there is also a mate of Jacob that is on Twitter X currently. It's Dao Bot. The guy that is behind this Dao Bot, I just want to meet him. That's just fantastic because that could come the next thing, the Dao bot for governance. At a point, we will have some bot. If it is well made like AI, it's great. Yeah, just keep at that because I'm so excited. I have to make me violence to stop.
Okay, well, it sounds good. Thanks, Patrick. I'm glad that you're excited. I'm glad you're loving the community. The DAO bot looks interesting. I've been meaning to look into that. I'm interested in learning more about it, and also appreciate your interest. We'll appreciate your contributions, but also appreciate your interest in making that proposal as well to extend the Optimism Fractal Hats Tree and add the new feature with Fractal Den too. So on that, I think that there's probably 2 steps that we would need to do that. Whenever you're ready, whenever you want. One is that you can make a proposal on, I think it should probably be like a consensus process thing with the Optimism Fractal consensus process. So you can make a proposal on the snapshot page for Optimism Fractal, which you can find on optimismfractal.com, and you go to resources in the top right corner. There's it says the Optimism Fractal snapshot or like the main snapshot, and there you can create a new proposal, and then the council would vote on that. For this week, there is me, Rosmari, Tadas, and Kingfishers. Will are on there, and then you can also, if you want, you can participate in that in future weeks too. And there's more details about how that works there. And then if that got approved, then we'd also need to figure out how to technically implement it too. I don't know if it'd be a simple thing. I suppose we could talk with Jacob or somebody else who might be interested in helping with that. We'd have to figure out how it would work technically. So yeah, feel free to make that proposal whenever, and looking forward to seeing it whenever, as well as all the other collaborations we'll do going forward.
Thank you. Yeah, I will do. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it. Is there anything else? We're almost at an hour now, so we should probably wrap it up pretty soon. Curious, any last thoughts, Patrick or Jacob or Will, or are we ready to wrap it up?
I gotta go. Have a good day.
All right.
Thank you again, Patrick. That was amazing. Thanks for everything you do, Dan. Thanks, Jake.
Thank you, Will.
You guys all take care.
My pleasure. Have a great day. And it seems like we're probably ready to wrap it up. Are we ready? I think so, right? We'll go 3, 2, 1, and then we'll say maybe go Optimism Fractal and go Hats.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? Okay.
Yeah, all in one. Go Optimism, go Hats. Okay. So I do the countdown.
Okay.
3.
Yeah, sure. 3,
2, 1,
1,
0.
Go
Optimism!
Optimism Fractal and Optimism, and go Hats!
Hats! Yeah. Baby.
All right. Thank you, everybody, so much. Big shout out to everybody who participated here. Thanks again to David and the Hats team. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Hope to see you for next week's event. Invite your friends, invite your family, and we'll see you next week at Thursday at 17 UTC. See y'all. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you very much.